Are you in the middle of your office wondering on which category you belong as an employee? Are you a regular employee or the casual one? Or maybe the other way around? Where is really your place in the workplace? Don't you worry, we've got you covered. At the end of this video, you're going to be sure on which is which. This is Tourism Laws 101, Kinds of Employment. First up is regular employment. Under this category, it describes an employee who is currently enjoying all the good stuffs aside from a job, like SSS, Pag-ibig, PhilHealth, and many more. The list just keeps going on and on. Furthermore, according to Article 281, an employee that is allowed to work after probation is immediately considered as bingo, a regular employee. Sounds very promising, isn't it? Next up is casual employment. What is casual employment? Casual employment refers to a situation in which an employee is only guaranteed work when it is needed, and there is no expectation that there will be more work in the future. During periods when the employee is not working for the employer, the two parties have no active relationship, and neither one has any obligation toward the other. Harsh, right? That means that a worker with casual employment would not be allowed to file a personal grievance toward the employer regarding unjustified dismissal. In simpler terms, their job is merely incidental and can be absorbed by others. But a casual employee can still be a regular employee if he or she has dedicated at least 1 year of service. Now, if you're currently a casual employee, don't be such a buzzkill. You can still have your chance. Don't lose hope, don't give up. Look for another job, and who knows, you might be and can be a regular employee.
Thank you for that information, Chino. Now let's move on to project employment and seasonal employment. So let's start off with project employment. Project employment is wherein an employee that is employed for a specific undertaking or project only. The period of the project employment depends upon the completion of the project, which is usually settled in advance. The nature of work of project employment is not related to the usual business of the employer. There are two things that must be needed in order to make project employment distinct from the regular employment. First is the specification of the job wherein the employee is employed. Second is the duration of the contract should be clearly stated right from the participation of the employee. A project employee may acquire the status of a regular employee when they are continuously rehired after the completion of the project or when the tasks they perform are important to the nature of work of the employer. A person who works for the construction firm as a laborer is an example of project employee. So let's now move on to another type of employment, which is the seasonal employment. Seasonal employment is when the duration of the work should only be performed for a certain time or season of the year and the employment is only for that duration. Seasonal employment is dependent on holidays or seasons such as summer and winter. Seasonal employees are normally called to work during peak season and are not paid during off-season under no work, no pay principle. To make seasonal employment distinct from the regular employment, it must be shown that the work to be performed is naturally seasonal and the employment lasts throughout the season. Some examples of seasonal employees include lifeguards who work at the beach during summer or ski resort hires to work each winter during ski season. Thank you for listening to me. Leslie will be the one who's going to discuss the rest of the kinds of employment.
Thank you, Fabrigas. And now let's talk about the other two kinds of employment, which are the fixed period employment and the provisional employment. So what is fixed period employment? Fixed period employment is when you sign a contract, there is a date when you start and end. An employment with a fixed or definite period. According to the Article 280 of the Labor Code, when the employee signs a contract, they governs it every time they are hired and terminate when the contract expires. For example, our overseas Filipino worker or FW, they sign a contract with their employee and terminate them when the contract is done, and they will go back here in the Philippines. Now, let's go to the other kind of employee, which is the provisional employee. So, what is the provisional employee? These are people or employee who undertake a 6-month trial period or training. The employee, upon his engagement, is made to undergo a trial period during which the employee determines his or her fitness to qualify for regular employment based on the reasonable standard. For example, you are hired in a company and you are undergoing to the provisionary period. After 6 months, they will determine your performance for the regularization. That's all. We hope that you learned from our small discussion about the different kinds of employment. Good day.